Welcome to the darkest of library. Those poor travellers find themselves here, simply wishing to take out a book of their dreams. But sometimes the dreams are all they have left. Hello there. I had not heard you come in this evening. You're as silent as a mouse. Welcome to the spooky late night library. I had not seen anyone for hours and was just sitting quietly, enjoying my very own moment of peace with a book. And what can I do for you this evening? Are you one of our members already? That's fine. That's not a problem at all. If you'd like to be signed up, it'd be my pleasure. Please, why don't you just take a seat right there? How's that? Are you sitting comfortably? It won't take too long. We just need to get you logged into our system. Are you sure you've never been here before? Something about you look familiar. Well, I can always check. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to need to take a few personal details. For my records only. Obviously, none of your personal details will ever be shared, unless you want them to be, of course. Can I first take your name? Alright. And the first line of your address? Yeah. Do you have a zip code or a postcode, as they like to call them? Wonderful. Now, just for my records, and it's so important for me to get a good grasp of what intrigues you, I was wondering if you could tell me perhaps a little bit about your favourite genre. What are the kind of books that have gripped you and held you tightly in the past? I'll just make a small note, just to give myself a bit of insight. Also, I can run on the system and it will bring me up a lovely list of perhaps books that you may enjoy, along with my extensive knowledge, obviously. Right, tell me, what have you read before? Okay, yeah. And did you read the entire series? It's an excellent book. I thought number 3 was a little bit of a letdown. You agree? I can see we're going to get on so well. What else have you been reading recently? Are you a bookworm? Do you read a lot? Okay. Historical. Oh, yeah, lovely. Oh. So sometimes you like to partake in a little horror. Well, that's just perfect, and just what I've been looking for. Something a little spooky. This is, after all, the spooky library. Let me, please. Right. Okay. What I'm going to do today is print you out a little pass before you leave, so that next time you come in, you don't have to go through all this rigmarole. That's so kind of you to say. Well, it is my pleasure to help. But anyway, I'll do that for you, just in case I'm not here. What if you get one of the other spooky librarians? Now, looking at my list, will you just give me a moment? I'm just going to peruse the shelves a little. Nope. No. Oh, most definitely not. No. What do we have over here? Don't mind me leaning behind you, do you? One moment. Yeah, let me have a look there. Not sure on that one. That there. Here. This is one of my suggestions for you. This is one of my all-time favourite books. All-time favourite reads, even. Have you read this before? The Memoirs of a Geisha? No. Well, this is a fantastical read. It is beautiful. Let me read you a little insert of it. This is a rare and utterly engaging insight into a story that was extraordinary. A young woman in the 1929 post-war. She was stolen away at a young age and taken to Kyoto, where she was built up to be one of the most extraordinary geishas of her era. The story takes twists and turns, has a lot of historical references in it, and is a truly beautiful insight into 1929 Japan. Let me please show you the size of print. You'll see here it's quite small, so you've got, I would say, quite a read in there. It'll take you quite a while to peruse all these pages. What's your thoughts? Is this perhaps the type of book you've been looking for? I knew it as soon as you walked in. I could just see the connection, the sparks, sparks, everywhere, sparks. Do you know, when a librarian gets that instant connection, it's unstoppable. Shall we see what else I can find for you tonight? Of course, I'll put this on the side for you. That'll be your book number 1 for me to log out for you. Now, let me just refer back to my list. The computer suggested a few things, but knowing that connection we have, I don't think they're going to work. Right. Yes, I have a second story in mind for you. Let me just have a look. I've seen that book recently. I know it was somewhere along these shelves. Something tells me it was on one of the lower shelves. Let me just take a little look. Oh, there she is. Now, this is a dark and grueling tale, and not for the faint-hearted at that. This is The Handmaiden's Tale by Margaret Atwood. This is a story so advanced for its time. It really was something quite incredible. Now, slightly easier read with the size of the print, as you can see. And a little larger than than the last. But can we be honest? The feel of a book in your fingers. There is simply nothing more exquisite, is there? Absolutely not. Now, this story is based around a character called Alfred. It wasn't her original name. The thing with this story is, it's set in an almost utopian world that, realistically, is not so impossible or not so far from our existence now. And that is what makes this book truly terrifying. Alfred has been stolen away from her original life. She is now placed with a family and has become somewhat of a breeder. That is her only purpose in life. She cannot move out from her station, and the only thing she is allowed to do outside of her family home is to walk to and from the market. And as she does so, she may exchange polite exchanges with other handmaidens. However, if she were to try to stray from her new life, the options were very grim. 1, she would be hung on the wall as a traitor, or 2, sent out where she would work, become sick with radiation. So, neither option are very appealing. The thing is, no matter how dark and terrifying things become for Alfred, she remembers the life she had before. She had a family, she was a mother, she had a job and a husband. And no matter how much they repress her, that instinctual desire to get back to her life is still there. So, it's an incredibly amazing read with many dark and evil twists, quite shocking at times, and very relevant to the world that we live in. What's your thoughts? I knew it wouldn't even take you a second to agree. It truly is a masterpiece. I'll pop that in as your second book of the day. Now, your last book, yes, I think we're going to go into something, somewhat of a horror book for you. Well, I did get that impression when you first walked in that something about you said you just love a bit of horror. What's that? I'm sure it's just the shadows. Now, the last book that I found for you is The Destructor. Of course, I think this is going to be right up your street. I know that you've previously read books that are vampire inspired. I assure you it was just a flickering of the shadows. Nothing for you to worry about. Now, Lawson used to work with blood all of the time. Pathology, you see. But now he is becoming one of the most feared vampires of all time. His life has taken quite the different little twists. The front cover of this book I think is particularly beautiful. Raised and embossed writing with John F. MENS. The moon is particularly bright on this one. And again, quite small writing, so you might need to get those glasses out. I simply can't read without my glasses these days. You won't find it a particularly difficult read. There's nothing nicer than the sound of paper running across my fingers. Do you find the same? When you read, do you find it's the last thing you do before you sleep? That is, of course, the dream of a book. They whisk you away to a completely new land, and then we fall to slumber. Is there nothing better than falling into a slumber and slipping and sliding your way down into your book world? I'm going to check these all out for you. Right, all sorted. Well, it's been quite the pleasure meeting you, to be honest. You won't mind if I go back to my reading, will you? I was quite cosy before you popped through the door today. No, it's fine. I didn't mind a little distraction. To be truthful, it was rather nice. I'll just offer you your books. I'll just offer you your books. I'll just offer you your books. Hi there. I would love to take this opportunity to say thank you so much for following along. And if you did enjoy today, if you wouldn't mind liking, maybe subscribing if you did enjoy, and also if you have time, commenting. This is a baby channel and I know you can tell I put so much love into every video, but I'm still on my journey and it's you guys that can take me there. So any help would be greatly appreciated from me. And if you would enjoy maybe some of my more explicit or adult ASMR and storytelling, there are links in my bio to my Patreon and OnlyFans pages where I would love to see you subscribe. Thank you so much, my darlings, and happy listening. Shh.